Hello. Okay, let's get started with crystals for kids.
Another hot subject in crystal therapy, crystals for kids. You will probably be surprised about my position on this topic. I'll tell you all about it in this video. Hi, this is Ileana from Everyday Crystal Magic, where we teach how to use the power of crystals to transform our lives. If this is the first time on this channel, don't forget to subscribe. I want to talk about another popular topic in crystal healing, probably the most popular after crystals for money, and this is crystals for children. Parents get worried when children have nightmares, cry on their sleep, or go through the terror phase, and
The terror
both parent and
phase?
child can't explain why.
What is the terror phase?
It's hard to explain
Some kids panic when the interdimensional aliens sap a little of their soul at night. They come in through the windows. If you don't have a crystal there.
something that does not have an apparent cause, like a fall, a scary movie, or a traumatic event. Crystals have very powerful energy, even when we call it subtle energy. For those of us who
Don't
like
get
to
your kid
play
a teddy
and
bear. Get him a
experiment,
quartz
we
crystal.
have experienced the energy surge or the dissonance every now and then of high vibration crystals. As adults, as individuals who have the ability to figure out what is happening to our bodies, sometimes these side effects can turn into a rough ride. Just think for a second what can happen when you are experiencing an energy surge or changes in your body that you're not able to communicate. What I'm saying here is, here we go, I do not recommend the use of crystals in small children.
They're too dangerous. I mean, that just raises more questions. Like, are they dangerous? Will your kid accidentally hex the moon or something? Actually, is she gonna say it's like normal, like they're a choking hazard?
There you go. I said it. Want to take a moment? Let's take a moment. Okay, we're back. With small children, I mean infants, toddlers, or children that are not able to speak yet. Please listen to me very carefully. Crystals are benevolent, but the effects of the energy when we're not attuned to that vibration are still there. As an adult, I have experienced energy surges and changes on different energy systems in my body that have left me unable to eat, sleep, or even take the stairs.
What? 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 Oh, sorry, I can't come into work today. It's upstairs, and I did crystals last night. This is like the fourth time you've said this. You're fired. Well, I'll just use when my abundance crystals work. I won't need your job anymore.
I am not by any means making you a friend.
Yeah.
I'm just
Is she snorting them or something? So I don't think that's quartz. If you're using crystals and then you have like a hangover after it, I don't think they're quartz.
asking you to be mindful. Take into consideration the age of the child. If the child is too young to express what he or she is feeling, there are other options, and I will get to those shortly. The last thing you need is take your child to the doctor for something that physician might not be able to address. Parents and caregivers, bring into your awareness that we have to be mindful of the energy we are transmitting or imposing in that little energy body. That body is dealing with a lot. It's still
Small children have a lot going on physically and vibrationally. You don't want to give them fucked vibes.
transitioning, and on top of that, learning a new body and a new environment. I have friends and clients that ask me which crystals are best to use for nightmares or behavioral problems. Remember that everything is vibration. A small child might as well be responding to the vibration of the environment or the adults around him or her. So the first thing I say when I get asked this kind of question is, let's look at the parents and the adults around the child first. What things are we doing as adults for that small child that are affecting the energy around him or her? Once you figure that out, there are some things that we can use to clean up the energy of that space and help that child. So here's what you can do. Finally, you might be thinking, my favorite, place flowers in the room. Add beauty to the place and things that bring joy. That right there increases vibration, makes for a happy and active child.
Oh yeah, we can watch some
Number
crime
two,
pays.
if you're using crystals, you can place these two in the child's bedroom, rose quartz and blue lace agate. This one has the calming and soothing energy. Avoid placing crystals on the child's body. Third one, clear the energy of the environment with black tourmaline and selenite. Just transform the energy. So I would love to hear what kind of experiences you have had if you had used crystals with small children. What kind of issues you were dealing with. Let me know in the comments below. And before I go, I want to say something else. If you're a parent struggling with some issues of your own, beyond the material conditions of health or finance, even illness, please work on yourself and seek help in any way available to you. If you need any form of energy healing or emotion release,
At least she has that disclaimer. If you're sick, go to the fucking doctor first. I'm just trying to grift you. I'm not trying to kill anyone. Like, that's all I want for like these pilled healing people. It's like, go to an actual doctor first.
check the links below and give yourself the chance to work on those things that are keeping you from being the best parent and the best you. Until next time, be well, have fun, and do some magic.
That awkward few seconds after she's done talking. Let's see. What's a good one? Oh, this is gonna be a cool one.
Okay, everybody. Hi, this is Tony. Welcome to another episode of Crime Pays with Bob Nick Doesn't. And today I was coming to you from a university grow house. I want to show you some of the interesting stuff they got in here. Lots of strange botanic anomalies. Okay, first off, we'll start out with this member of the cucumber family. This is Dendrocysseos socotranus. Okay, from the island of Socotra. Good luck trying to get over there. But it's a member of the cucumber family. First thing I want to point out to show you here is, remember, Cucurbitaceae, the cucumber family, is a family of mostly monoecious plants. That is, flowers are unisexual, okay, individual flowers are either male or female, staminate or pistillate. And that's illustrated for you right here. So the individual flowers are either staminate or pistillate, male or female, but you get them both on the same plant, opposed to plants that are dioecious, where the flowers are unisexual, but the whole plant only produces one flower sex. So Cucurbitaceae being monoecious is a great example to show it off. You could also look at the like squashes or pumpkins and see the same thing. So look at these flowers right here. You can see on the left, you got the pistillate flower. That's an open stigma with those papilosa stigma surfaces just waiting to receive pollen. You also have that swollen ovary down there. You see the stamens right there? Just dehiscing pollen. Okay, look, notice how different the flowers look. See that? You got tree lobes over there, and then right here, you don't got those lobes. You just got a bunch of little stamens and anthers dehiscing, doing their thing. But especially, again, look at the base of the flower. Swollen ovary here, no swollen ovary right there. Dead giveaway. Next time you're looking at a squash or a pumpkin, go ahead and take a look at that. Now, of course, you can see this weird bastard. He's got a big trunk to him. He's a little bit succulent, and he's got, he's got this very coriaceous texture to his leaves, coriaceous and waxy and shit. Looks like they got a little bit of scale here. He's all dangly and whatnot. Now these can get upwards of 12, 15 feet tall on the island of Socotra where they're native. But again, that's you probably have to pull some strings to get over there. It's a little tricky. Not sure how much the airfare would cost. Probably an arm and a leg. Go ahead and look into selling your kids to pay for that trip. I don't see any pistillate flowers. I just see that one staminate flower right there. But really, when you see the pistillate, it's a dead giveaway. Now, many members of the cucumber family, they do have more staminate flowers than pistillate flowers. This is a rule. They tend to have more males than females, okay? There you go. Look at that. You can see, there you go. Typical filaments with the big-ass anthers on there, just dehiscing pollen. That's great. And then get that texture of those leaves up there as well. You see that? Look at that, not going to want to munch on it. But again, probably not many herbivores on the island of Socotra anyway, so didn't have to work with herbivores as a selection pressure, thus affording them the opportunity to get so large and succulent. Look at that nice caulescent trunk right there. And here we go. This one's a little bit more common in cultivation. Another member of the Socotran flora, okay? Native to the island of Socotra. This is Dorstenia gigas from the fig and the mulberry.
I used to have one of these and it died. It was so bad, so sad. It's like a third the size of this one, but it had a bunch of branches like that. Ugh.
Mulberry family Moraceae. Now these bastards get upwards of 10, 12 feet in diameter. And again, you got that coalescent habit, all right? Kind of like that Dendrocysseos, which I showed you back there. That Dendrocysseos is the only member of the cucumber family to grow in a tree form too, I should mention. There's the floral structures and fruits of those Dorstenias. Now, Dorstenia is not a monotypic genus, unlike that Dendrocysseos. There's about 100 species in this genus. Look at that. Look at the texture on the top of that little fruit. True stunner. True stunner. And again, you could just, you snip off little parts of the branches and with the shift dip in some root hormone maybe, and you can root them easy. This gets passed around a lot more commonly in cultivation than at the Dendrocysseos.
Oh yeah, the way their seed pods work are really cool too. They're like they're related to figs, so it's like a modified fig flower, and it picks up pollen out of the wind and fertilizes itself, and then the seeds ripen, and then they just start shooting out of that little cup thing. Like there's hundreds of seeds in there, and they'll just like launch themselves all over the place.
So got this Euphorbia bioensis. See, they get the tag. See, they get the tag from Madagascar. Almost looks like a cactus, but it's not. Remember, it's just convergent evolution. I try telling you this all the time. I said this 9,000 times. You guys never listen to me. You never listen to me. Huh? You silly prick. Convergent evolution, okay? Unrelated plants responding to similar selective pressures in
Oh yeah, I got a bunch of cool stuff. Like I don't remember if I have this one, but there's definitely some at work. I don't know if I took a cutting or not, or if I was able to keep it alive, but yeah, I'll probably. That's one that I don't have actually. Yeah, I think I never took a cutting of it, so I gotta do that tomorrow.
similar environments.
But yeah, I got a bunch of weird stuff.
In this case, hot and arid. Okay, and again, when you're in a hot, arid, exposed environment, you're going to be one of the only things on the menu because there's not much plant life compared to.
Oh, let me think of my weirdest. Let's see. What is Oh yeah, I got one of these guys. Oh, it's mostly cactus, some succulents. I lost a lot of my succulents because it gets so hot here, but the ones that survived have been growing pretty well. It's another one I have. Like I got a lot of gymnocalyciums. Like, let me see. Got that one. I think I have that one. I have that one. That one. That one. That one. I don't think I have that one. That one. This one. I think I have that one. I grew a bunch of those for seed. Ooh. Ooh. I always love this one. They're like always weird colors. Yeah, actually, they can. There's a bunch of them on eBay that, like, a bunch of like Chinese growers, like they grow like weird stuff like this in bulk, and they have like a bunch of bids. If you're good at good at eBay, you can sneak some pretty cool stuff for pretty cheap. Let's see, eBay China. Oh, I've always wanted one of these. They just turn like pure white. Yeah. Actually, it's called Cactus China. Oh yeah, they sell like red stuff like this too. Where's Cactus China? Oh, oh these. Uh, like there's a bunch of growers in Japan that hybridize these, and they make some really cool stuff, and they're very expensive. Let's sort by price highest first. Okay, these are books. Oh, there's like a bunch of books on how to breed them and stuff. Oh yeah. Oh, wait, never mind. I read that as $399, but there are ones that are that expensive. I think I'm just searching for the wrong type. Oh, here we go. These are the Japanese ones. $3,440. Oh, there's the really expensive ones are so cool though. Ah. Oh my god, that one. That's amazing. What? That was just pink. Yeah, they look delicious. Yeah, it'd be cool to make like a fake one out of like gummy candy, and you just peel the leaves off. That'd be kind of cool. I've got one of those. Got one of those. Oh, these ones are cool. I got one of these where it's just like it just turns into a ball of little jelly fingers, basically. $45. Damn. Oh yeah. At work, I get a bunch of like variegated stuff, stuff that's got like yellow stripes or like weirdly colored stuff. Let's see. That's probably gonna be leafy stuff mostly. Let's search. Oh yeah, I've got plenty of this, like so many different kinds of stuff with these stripes. Ooh. Oh This is another one that everybody makes really freaky ones. That's like a normal looking one. Oh no, that's peyote. Nobody tell anybody. Yeah, this is the this is what everybody stashes the peyote they sell under this name. So there's a bunch of misidentified stuff under this section. I got one of those. Ooh. Ooh. This is the Capit Medusi. Oh yeah, the I've got one like this. Like a part of it rotted though because the bugs won't get off of it, so it's like missing a chunk out of one of its ribs. Grows really slowly too. Oh. Ooh. I like it. I like it. Oh, it's so cool. So cool. I had like plant kinda like this, but it was kinda like red and sort of purplish striped a little bit. Because the stem looks similar, but it was super slow growing. Yeah, I had like one that looked like that kind of, but it was more color like that. Let me see. Yeah. Let me see. Oh, that one's so cool. Just want to buy all of these. That's like an affordable one. $14.99. Oh, there's an aloe that I've always wanted right there. Looks like they're finally getting common enough to actually get one up for under like $100. Aloe arenacea. Let's search Google for aloe aranacea. These look so cool. They're so spiny though. Damn, this guy got whoever grew this was able to get it to keep what's with the leaves on there. Oh, is that what they look like in the wild? Holy shit. Oh, it's such a low res image though. So cool. There's another cool aloe. Let me see. Yeah, I got this one. Spider aloe. There's that Madagascar one that's like all kind of a crawling aloe. Oh yeah, I got that one. I have a bunch of cool, like, lumpy aloes. Used to have one of those, but it didn't survive in the heat. Oh yeah, I got one of these. It's such a cool aloe. It just like lays on the ground and puts out other shoots. It's super bright green with like these red, dark. Well, I mean, you're looking at it right now. I don't need to describe. I think I used to have this one, and then fucking bugs ate the center out of it and just died. And I can never find another one. It's like a super rare aloe from Madagascar. Like they're endangered, so nobody can get their hands on them. There's like only a few around that people have saved. Yeah, I think that's one I had. Yeah. Oh, this one. Oh, so many cool ones. X25. Really need to get me one of these because we grew a ton of them at my job. Oh, yeah. I have one of these, but it's like diseased. Like it used to have like a bug infection that like damaged its cells. So it'll grow and the leaves will be stuck together like fused, and I have to like pull the leaves off, and I'm like hoping eventually it'll grow past the point where it's got like the weird cell division disease that it has, and it just grows normally again. And I can just like chop it off and regrow it. And it grows super slow because of that problem too. I'm not giving up on it. I was like the name of this one. Aloe Crap Holiana. This one is really hard to grow. It needs like cold weather. It grows up in like it can get snowed on and be fine. So it's like way up in the mountains of Africa, and it can't take over like 85 degrees. It just melts. And it's so expensive because of that. Almost nobody can grow them to be looking nice, but like some places in the mountains in California are like perfect for them. Okay, let's go back to that video. I'm gonna end up nerding out about plants like multiple times on here.
Like a woodland or a forest, or even just any more music area. So there's going to be more selective pressure on you to develop a way to avoid getting gnawed on. A lot of weird euphorbias out there. Okay, now for a real stunner. Okay, well, Witchia mirabilis. Okay, another monotypic genus, monotypic family. Okay, but they got relatives in the fossil record from Brazil. This guy grows in the fog deserts in Namibia. And plants of this species are dioecious, meaning that individual plants, either male or female. Right here we got a female. She's about to be going off, okay? Not gonna get pollinated, but it's been discovered that these plants are actually insect pollinated. There's not a lot known about this species, actually, in terms of its pollination. There's a few papers out there, but a lot of it is just, hasn't been studied. But you could see these immature megastrobili, because this is technically a conifer.
Oh shit!
Its closest relative.
I think I might still have one of these if it's what I think it is. I'm not sure because its leaves have completely died, but I don't. I'm still watering it, and I'm seeing a little bit of green come back because I've seen this happen before. The leaves completely die, and then they decide I'm not dead.
Relatives are in the genus Needham and Ephedra. Of course, Ephedra you'd know from the deserts of North America, as well as some of the areas in Nigeria.
Oh yeah, Yeah, I have one that's is or was similar in size to this one. Maybe it was like half the size. Yeah, like that looks like it's pretty big, but mine looks like shit compared to this one.
Areas in Asia, in China. Look at that. You got the same two leaves, looks like different leaves looks like four leaves, but this is actually two. One here and one here. Same two leaves throughout its entire life. Same thing going on up here. Looks like four leaves.
Oh, I somehow found seeds of them. Like the story with the seeds. Let me go to eBay. Let's see. Well, with Mirabilis. 3 seeds are $50. And the problem is, like, there's apparently a fungus that grows on their cones, and it'll like sterilize the seeds. So you're taking a big risk, like with these plants. Like, there's like a super bad fungus that like infects a lot of them, and most of the seeds don't survive. So they're getting these seeds that could be just dead duds. But I've managed to get one to come up. It starts with it's just 2 little tiny leaves sticking out of the ground. It looks like a blade of grass, and it takes so long to grow. It's just like a really tiny version of that thing, and I wasn't able to keep it alive. There's a nursery near me that sells them. They sell them in like those rocket tube things full that you put plants in, and their leaves kind of drape down. There's a bunch of posters of it. Yeah, there's just that one seller there that sells it. Oh, so it's $5 shipping. So it's like $55 for 3 seeds. Oh, what I really want is what is that called? Oh yes, Hydnora africana. It's like a parasite that feeds on like euphorbia roots, and like it has no chlorophyll. It lives most of its life underground, and then it gets these flowers that smell literally like shit that come out of the ground that are pollinated by flies. So weird. It looks like a fucking alien parasite. Like, oh no, that's the that's now I want to watch a video on it because it's so cool. Yeah, it's basically like I think it's like a distant relative of this thing because it does the same thing. It's like red and it pretty much only flowers. It's like a parasite. I think they get different colors depending on which plant they infect. There's kind of a purple one, like almost yellow, reddish orange. There's just like a straight up red one. Yeah, I'm gonna look that up. Yeah. I'm not going to have it. Oh no, we gotta watch that one eventually. Let's see. 2 minutes. Oh, is it just words?
Please subscribe to our channel FNF Fakes and tap the bell icon to get notified about every video.
Okay, it's another text on the screen. Come on. I want to hear some science guy explain it to me. Come on, you can do it. I don't want some top 5 shit. Ignore Africana, Team 4.
Hi guys, my name is Raven Robertson. I am in the Biolab class on Tuesdays from 1 to 3:45, and today I'll be talking to you a little bit about the Hygnora africana.
Is this some, like, kids, like, research report on that plant? Come on! Flowers identify.
ফুল সমাচার চ্যানেলে আপনাদের স্বাগতম। ফুল সমাচার চ্যানেলে আজকের পর্বে আমরা জানব হাইড্রোনোরা আফ্রিকানা ফুল সম্পর্কে। তবে ভিডিও শুরু করার আগে আপনি যদি আমাদের চ্যানেলে নতুন হন তাহলে সাবস্ক্রাইব করে নিন আর পাশে থাকা বেল বাটনে ক্লিক করুন।
Hygnora africana adalah merupakan satu tanaman paling
Hygnora africana, Bongo Bacaya, Dari Africa, Silaton. Frightening plants you should absolutely be afraid of. Like Hygnora africana. That literally can't hurt you. That first one I don't think was even Hygnora. Oh, I saw it. You redeemed it twice. Let me refund one. There we go. You know, let's see what Gina's not going to have. It's almost 3 minutes left. 3 minutes long.
Hello. So, hello, wherever you are, in any part of the world, hello from my heart to yours. I've shared a post this morning about, what was that post about? Inflation, and how inflation is coming, okay? And I've read some comments, and some comments weren't nice, but guess what? I left them up there. If you weren't completely rude and stuff, I left your comment up there, and I did not block you. But I've been reading some comments who, when I read them, it is as if these individuals are looking down on people who work in fast food restaurants.
Go off, Gina.
Let me tell you something. There are people who have to work 2 or 3 jobs.
Let's go, face Gina.
It. And that is the only type of job they can get on the side. So I applaud all of those people who are out there working their rear ends off on second jobs and third jobs just to pay their bills and feed their family. I sincerely thank you for not thinking you're too good to work in a restaurant, okay? That just burns me up. Don't you look down on people. That is wrong to look down on people who take jobs in restaurants, okay? Totally wrong, and that really burns me up to see people comment as if they're too good. You're not too good.
I've never seen her this mad about something. I love it.
One day you may find yourself in a situation where you're doing a job worse than that. Or you may not even be able to find a job anywhere and you be flat out in the street. This is not the time to look down on people who eat fast food or people who work in a fast food restaurant. You know, you're no better than them. You're no better than them. You're not. That's all I've got to say about that. No. If you work in a fast food restaurant, I'm happy that you're working. I am. And if that's the only job you could get, I'm very happy for you. And if it's your first job that you've gotten, while in school or out of school, I'm very happy for you because you're doing something that many people think they're too good to do. You're doing something that some people are too lazy to do, okay? That's what I am saying. I've got to go. I've got to go, you all. I don't got time to play these silly games. That's right. That's right, you all.
Hell yeah. The safe zones video? What are the safe zones?
Good evening, folks. After more than 100,000 views in 48 hours, we can clearly see a pattern to the questions that are coming in about the Safe Zones video from the other night. That was the one where we went over the animal anomalies, the cyclical deluge, and the other effects that come with the tilting of the Earth. The tilt supported by the critical pieces of observational evidence, the tilt supported by the Pentagon papers taken by Major White, and supported by Einstein and numerous other catastrophists, including myself. With more questions than all others on the
catastrophist? What is going on? Is this guy gonna say, like, everything bad is gonna happen?
That video combined, it seems that even those who liked the music at the end might have rather preferred I explained those still images a bit more. Sounds like a great idea for a Tuesday night. First, what will the tsunamis look like? And here it was critical to remember that there's two different kinds. First, the tilting of the Earth pushes the land into the water's inertial flow, leading to a slow building, but out.
What does this guy think is going to happen? Is he just saying global warming's not going to do this? It's going to be the Earth just suddenly going like, Arr! And then the water's going to go like, is that what he thinks?
Hours lasting high tide. Picture a foot a minute for several hours. This is the one from which you just can float away, and is likely to make it the furthest inland. The sloshback tsunamis come second after the tilt, when the oceans literally slosh back the other way and hit the other side of the land masses. With so much water on the land or evaporated, there won't be as much to impact, but it will be fairly brutal at the coastline. If you had to pick one of these two options, you'd want to be at the initial tidal surge and something that floats, rather than at the sloshback. The next graph.
What? What? So you're gonna have to get in a boat and you're gonna have to ride this out. It's gonna be so much water that there's no safe place. You gotta get in a little. Get your water wings. You can make it. Get your surfboard. I've seen people do that.
Graphic was from our book, and we're just showing where we've gone so far in the magnetic.
Just like imagine like he's just a surfer and he's really obsessed with like the biggest, most dangerous wave. He's like, there's gonna be a sloshback, and I'm gonna be there to ride it. I'm gonna ride it all the way to Ohio.
Excursion, and then breaking out further into what happens if we get no more accelerations, a slow acceleration of the field loss, and then a massive acceleration. Now, what is not in here is the fact that we had a shift in the 2015 fields and then a field loss acceleration in 2017, coincident with a geomagnetic jerk. And so the green line is truly out at this point, somewhere between yellow and red. The safe zone consideration number one in my mind should be about the flood. The cyclical deluge may not be the most difficult aspect of the excursion to overcome, especially if you can just float away, but it is the predominant concern that directs much of the other prepping. And yes, most of the Earth is indeed low elevation. The water breaks through the valleys and the plains easily, leaving a lot of the mountain areas spared. The second consideration was about the weather, and for this you need to consider both the current conditions and those after the tilt. For all we know, a decade could separate the sun knocking out the power and then the tilt of Earth. If you only survive now because of electricity, it's something to think about. Up next, this graphic I believe caused probably the most confusion from that video. It is the post-tilt Earth rectangular projection, and the reason the words are written twice is because it will be cold at the new North Pole and the new South Pole. Go ahead and pretend those words do stretch all the way across the screen.
Like, what is he showing? It's already cold in those places. Like, what are you talking about? It's gonna be cold in Siberia and Alaska and Canada and Antarctica. We're fucked. We're so fucked.
Hawaii and the Congo, no real change in temperature being the axis of the tilt. Finally, no matter how great your spot, if there are too many other people around, it's a problem. Everyone will have the same needs: food, water, shelter, supplies. And if you have seen The Road or Mad Max or The Colony or anything like that, a lot of times what they get right.
Oh my god! Oh, we're going full circle. We're going full circle.
Right is the human nature and what we'll do to survive. The more rural, the better, either permanently or as a solid bug-out plan. A lot of people emailed asking where they could find the safe zone maps, like I pulled them from a website. Sorry, I made these maps based on the current climate with the potential to lose electricity, the future climate after the shift, the likely inertial wave paths and those of the sloshback tsunamis, and also, as you can see,
what? He's just saying, like, yeah, Africa's already fucked. Too unhospitable now. Too dangerous. It's so, like, this. I mean, it's Somalia, but it's like too dangerous now. Too dangerous now. And then what are these? What are these? Oh, it's survivors likely in South Africa, but everywhere else is fucking.
Things like volcanoes and
Let's see. Those. See if we can get the title. Yeah, let's do this. Fact checking him. Oh, we are hiring. I didn't mean to do that. I don't want to work for Giazzo or Tinai. It didn't work. He couldn't read the image. Okay. Hi, Gina.
Another hot topic in
Oh God, where am I? Safe zones.
and whether some other thing makes the region unfavorable for the time being. Go back to the disaster series. Watch the full 77.
What? The Earth turns over. Cosmic disaster. Earth disaster.
Minute video.
Science revolution.
There's a lot more.
Falling into a storm. Galactic electric field and solar. So this guy thinks like everything bad's gonna happen, but none of it really involves any climate change, I guess? I don't know. He seems like the type of guy that wouldn't believe that.
More in there on survival than you might imagine, or remember if you've seen it already. I'll see you in the morning for the daily update. Be safe, everyone.
It really helps. Okay, back to plants.
They just split. One leaf, one leaf. Same two leaves throughout its entire life. And they just grow all sprawled everywhere, all messy mess, you know, tattered and beaten and with the shit over, you know, the 1,000 or 2,000 years.
Oh, I used to have this one too.
Can indulge in.
The flowers are disgusting. They smell like
I had a friend who was a merchant marine.
like
He sent
rotting
me some photos.
fish.
Once he said, "Hey, we docked on a coast in Namibia." I went for a
The flowers of this thing smell like rotting fish, but less like briny. It smells like just like it's weird, hard to describe. It's like musty dead fish, and like BO a little bit. It's like it's one of the few plants that I've gagged smelling the flower. I made the mistake of, and it like lingers around in your nose. It's disgusting.
little stroll. Okay, went for just a little gander on a on land for a while to go see what I could see what they had, and they had these weird plants everywhere. You know about these? What are they? And I said, you rotten bastard, how could you send me these, you silly prick? I'm so envious of, he was a good guy. I meant it with love. But, I just said, I'm so envious. I can't believe you do this to me. I think at the time I was, in Crook County, I don't know what I was doing. I was probably in the fucking Jewel Osco parking lot. But I just started crying, because why couldn't I be in Namibia doing what he was doing? I don't know where the hell he is now, man. I don't know where he went. I don't know where he ended up, but he was all over the world doing it for a while. Moving on down the line, here we go. That was Will Witchy. Oh wait, okay, hold on here. I gotta show you what the cones look like once they're. I mean, this is not.
Cones.
This was not pollinated, so there's no seed in it. But if there was seed, just like a pine cone, kind of the seeds would be on these little bracts right there, and those little scales and whatnot, papery bracts, and then the whole thing just dehisces, and they get blown all around the little coastal plains of the sands and with the shit in Namibia where they grow. And look how they grow them too. They grow them in these chimney pipes because they get really deep roots. I grew 2 from seed once. I kept them alive for a year or 2, and then they died.
Same.
I went outside in the greenhouse during the foggy, cool winters we get in the Bay Area, and they just rotted. It was just hairy and moldy, and it had just rotted away. Pretty sad. But if you can keep them going, fast draining soil, they actually need decent water. You can probably water them from the bottom. I don't know how the shit they water these. But in a deep pot, you need a deep pot right there. You got to say something about flowers that smell terrible, and this flower definitely.
I got one of those
terrible.
too.
It's actually a member of the milkweed family, the milkweed subfamily, Asclepiadoideae of the Oleander family, Apocynaceae, and this is a species in the genus Stapelia. It smells fucking terrible. It smells so bad, it smells like rotten. Look, you even got the hairs in there. It looks like a piece of roadkill. Looks like a vulture should be digging into that. Okay, this thing smells so bad. I had one on my kitchen window a couple years ago. They're really easy to root too, like a lot of the succulent milkweeds are from continental Africa, from South Africa. Okay, you just clip one of those off, let it dry, stick it in some dry soil, let it sit there for a few days. Remember, they're succulent, so they got all the carbohydrates and moisture. They'll eventually send out roots. They root readily, don't even need hormone, and then boom, you could share with all your friends. It's pretty soon everyone's got nasty, filthy smelling flowers on their windowsill. I had one of these on my kitchen window, and a fly actually ended up, just one of the shit flies that you have sometimes get in your house.
Okay, yeah, you get. Is he gonna mention that he got a maggot in it? Because the flies love to do that. You'll have maggots like stuck inside the flower. I think that's what they intentionally want. They have like a little chamber that the maggot gets stuck in. It covers itself in pollen and then rubs itself all over the place in there. It's pretty gross. Sometimes you'll have like a little pile of them.
You know the shit flies, right? Different from the cartoon flies, which just fly slowly in circles. I kind of like the cartoon flies, but I don't like the shit flies that are more obnoxious ones. A shit fly had actually landed on that and laid eggs inside it, and the maggots had started to grow, but of course, since it's a fake out, it's just producing the smells without the rotting meat. They just ended up dying. But you could actually end up, using these as a trap to dupe flies to laying eggs in them, and then the maggots would just die, of course. But either way, you could see it gets pollinated by flies in habitat. Flies and carrion beetles in habitat. Quite a few plants do this. Amorphophallus in the unrelated aroid family does the same thing. Big genus, the Titan flower is in that. The giant corpse flower is in that family. But again, that's unrelated to this. It's a monocot family. This is a eudicot family. This is the milkweed subfamily of the Oleander family, Apocynaceae. And there's that nasty flower. Look at that. Look at that. You could almost see the stigmatic slits in there, like you might see on a milkweed flower. Is that how you get in there? Look, and you flip it over. There's the petals. No decor on the petals. Petals, 5 petals, 5 sepals under there. That's it. Isn't that nice? Isn't it nice? Okay, so speaking of plants that smell absolutely terrible, here's the king of them all. Okay, also the largest flower in the world, in the genus Amorphophallus, which has quite a few dozen species in it. I had Amorphophallus cognac in my back.
Amorphophallus means exactly what it sounds like. It means like misshapen penis, I guess. I think that's pretty much what it translates to. Like, these are super hard to grow too. You have to use gigantic pots for them.
Yard, over there, and it just, stank, smelled like hell. I walked in a goddamn yard. I thought, one of the neighbors' 15 feral cats they feed had died in there. Either that or it was Larry the possum, who, sometimes with possums and shit, those guys just drop suddenly. I don't know why they do it, but, they're eating all kinds of weird shit. Anyway, I thought it was something dead. It was a smaller version of this guy, a sister species of this guy in the same genus, Amorphophallus. Now, this is Amorphophallus titanum from the island of Sumatra over there. Sumatra over there by Singapore? Where they caned that kid for spray paint and shit, a couple decades ago. Anyway, so this is an emerging flower. It's got a big corm down there. Remember, you got corms. And
Thank
you,
you,
bulbs.
Mushroom Lookup,
Corms
for
are
the
stem
sub.
tissue, bulbs are
My
leaves.
alerts are having trouble.
So the corm did this for a few years. With that's a single leaf. There's no abscission layer up there. Okay, that's all technically one single leaf. Did this for a few years. It would just collect energy from the sun and stash it back down. And the corm did it for a few years till finally it did it enough, and it decided it had enough energy. So this year we're not getting no leaf. We're getting this flower, and this has quite a few weeks to go. Probably I don't know, 2, 3, 4 weeks to go, but it'll eventually be upwards of 5 feet tall. 4 or 5 feet tall, and it'll smell like raw hell for about 4 or 5 days, and that's because it's pollinated by beetles that normally eat rotting flesh, okay? But it's still, look at a sight to behold, okay? And it's in the aroid family, Araceae, which remember, they have a very specific inflorescence structure to them called the spadix and a spathe, okay? You got your spadix in a center, which has all the individual flowers on it, and then the spathe is just the bract that surrounds it. But look at the texture of this too. Touch it, it's like rubber. It's all rubbery. Looks like it's sweating a little bit. Very disgusting, but also beautiful. So look at the texture of these. Oh my god! Look at the texture of this.
Oh my god!
This bract around there. Oh, that's nice. So anyway, maybe we'll come back in a couple weeks, see what it looks like. But this plant gets so much publicity already. I mean, you probably got one at a botanic garden next to you. You should go check it out sometime when you get a chance to. Remember, the male flowers will be up top. Female flowers will be on the bottom. Okay, and it'll be, 4 or 5 feet tall. Now let's look at the leaf right here. So it seems almost unbelievable that a stalk that big could sit, a plant this big could sit in such a small path. But remember, it's just got to store energy in that corm. It's got a little battery down there that's right. So right now it's recharging the battery. And then eventually this will all die back, and it'll just exist in that battery, that corm down there in the bottom. Okay? And all the
There was like a common version of that plant. Let's see. Oh, here we go. There's the voodoo lily. It grows the same way, where it gets a stalk and then it dies off and the flower comes up. Let's see. How much is a bulb? Oh. Yeah, they're pretty cheap. Like, nice. Don't know if I'd be able to grow one out here though.
Amorphophallus do this. My Amorphophallus cognac/Riviera, I did the same thing. Had it 3 or 4 years, it would just send up that one single leaf again because there's no abscission layer. It's all technically the same leaf, and then it would do that, and then, for 4 months it would be up there, and I just kind of ignored it, watered it, put it in the ground, and then it would die back. And then it's like I said, this year it did that. It sent up a smaller version of that. But look at the texture of that too. Probably some biocamouflage going on there. Some selective pressure to avoid being eaten that it's acquired over the last however many millions of years. There's the actual leaf itself. Quite a banger right there. I don't want to be here when that thing goes off though, because the smell is really painful. If you've ever smelled a corpse before of any kind, imagine that times 100, and that's what, imagine like a corpse that's been sitting in a fetid body of water enclosed in some sort of airtight dome, and that's kind of what this smells like. Look, another amorphophallus. See, this guy's just opening up shop. See, just open it. Leaves haven't even unfurled yet, so he'll do that for, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 months, then he'll close up shop, die back to the corn. Right next to the coffee plant right here. Rubiaceae, with your interpetiolar stipules. Do you see the stipules? You know, that's one of the main synapomorphies for the family Rubiaceae. Okay, kratom, coffee. Okay, a lot of good stuff in this family. Huge plant family, especially in the tropics and subtropics. But there's the interpetiolar stipule. It's a stipule that exists between the petioles of the opposite leaves. Opposite leaves, of course, are another, they can be a good giveaway. As long as you got the interpetiolar stipule for the Rubiaceae, the coffee family. Look at the individual flowers here. Axillary, okay, coming out of the leaf axils. Do you see that? You got any open yet? Probably not. Coffee actually grows good as a house plant too, surprisingly. I gave my dad one, you know, I don't even know if he killed it yet or not. We don't talk because he's kind of a prick. He looks like a shorter, fatter Joe Pesci without any of the charm. But anyway, you could see there's the flowers, and of course the little beans, of course the fruits just, you know, come out once those flowers, they, you know, accumulate in little clusters where those flowers are once the flowers are pollinated. But I gave one to my dad, and surprisingly he didn't kill it. He's killed everything else I ever gave him, but I think it's doing, he might have killed it now just out of spite for me. But anyway, it's about, you know, 10 to 12 feet tall, growing in his greenhouse, you know, in Chicago there. You know, so they work good as house plants. They do. Coffee plant is a pretty you know, adaptable species. Okay, and of course you got multiple species in the genus Coffea. Anyway, another member of the Rubiaceae right here, the coffee family. And this plant is interesting, not just because of the fact it's an epiphyte, and not just because of the fact that it's mildly succulent. And again, remember, it's got those axillary flowers and those interpetiolar stipules that members of the coffee and kratom family have. This plant is fascinating because of what it's evolved to turn its trunk into. You can see that caudiciform stem. This is what's known as a myrmecophyte. And quite a few plants from unrelated families do this. They live in a symbiosis with ants, as you can see right there. So this plant's trunk has been evolutionarily modified through selective pressure to basically provide housing for ants in exchange for free bouncer service. So if an insect or a caterpillar comes along, starts gnawing on the trunk or whatever shit, the ants go out, you know, their home's under attack, they immediately attack it. Okay? Now this plant is from Southeast Asia. It's listed as critically endangered in Singapore. But, you know, interestingly enough, I saw another species in this same genus, Hydnophytum, for sale at a Home Depot in South Texas when I was there. So, pretty goddamn interesting plant there. Hydnophytum formicarium. Look at those little flowers. There's the flowers. Get up close to the flowers right there. We'll get a good money shot of there. See a flower and there's a fruit. That's the orange fruit right next to it. And then there's that four-petaled flower. You see 4 petals in a salver-form corolla. Little trumpet-shaped corolla. 4 fused petals, etc. So, you know. Now, Rubiaceae members of this family can have 4 petals. They can have 5 petals, whatever. But, again, you're going to be looking for those interpetiolar stipules. See? Opposite leaves with interpetiolar stipules. You see that nice? Look at this. How's that for a cactus, huh? You like that, huh? A cactus that grows as an epiphyte in the Amazon. Selena Sirius Whittii. And I've seen this before. A friend of mine had this growing in a nursery in Tucson, but the whole goddamn thing was red. Just filled with those betalain pigments, those stress pigments, in response to the bright light it was getting. And this was actually the object of a documentary filmed about this badass British lady, okay, who decided, I think, you know, she was born like 1905 or something, okay? The world was full of stiffs back then, especially high society, which I think where she came from. A lot of stiffs, a lot of dumb dicks, a lot of obnoxious fucking men who told her she couldn't do, you know, the stuff that she wanted to do, so she said, fuck you, and she did anyway, which I like. And she went down to the Amazon, and she was a painter. She started painting a bunch of these fucking things. They call them moonflowers because the flowers are goddamn huge, but, you know, she's a badass lady. They made a documentary about it. It's called, I think it's called Margaret and the Moonflower. You should watch it. Anyway, there's the plant. Selena Sirius is actually another large genus of generally night-blooming cacti that grow as epiphytes. I was in a cloud forest in Chiapas, Mexico once, and I seen a member of this genus going all the goddamn way up. Selena Sirius testudo. going all the way up this tree. 30 feet into the goddamn, up into the canopy. And when I tried to pull one off, I did pull a little piece off. When I tried to pull one off, I got attacked by ants. They were hanging out in the tree. They must have been living. It was like stuck to the goddamn. It was quite impressive how much I had to pry it off this tree trunk. But most beautiful night I ever had, sleeping in an abandoned quarry. Well, it wasn't abandoned. We got woken up the next day by workers, but in a quarry, a limestone quarry in this forest in Chiapas. So many goddamn frogs and crickets. You never heard a jungle at night. You're missing out, man. And right next to that Selena Sirius, we got another member of the Araceae, the aroid family, like that corpse flower I showed you back there. See, there's the spadix. See, you typically have the male flowers up top and on the female flowers on the bottom. Spadix and a spathe, the little break that's around. This is Anthurium superbum. Okay, from the subtropical lowland moist forests of Ecuador. You can see these coriaceous leaves, very thickened coriaceous leaves. That's a beauty, man. Look at that thing. It's a beauty. You got these leathery leaves, all glabrous, kind of curved in to shed water because this thing just gets dumped on. Okay, kind of concave, and yeah, there's the flowers. There's the flowers. Don't got any fruits to show you, unfortunately, but if I did, you could, you have a gander at that. Okay, so this is a pretty good one. This is a banger, and it's an extremely rare banger at that. Not only from about, I don't know, between 30 and 40 individuals left in the wild from Costa Rica and Panama. This is Osa pulchra, another member of the Rubiaceae. You can see you get the interpetiolar stipules right there, and the opposite leaves. Now you can see that long pendant flower, that hanging flower with the 5 fused petals, looking like a trumpet. Okay, and it's a big white flower, okay, kind of similar to Brugmansia from the unrelated family Solanaceae, or Datura, also from Solanaceae, okay. Now, I mention those flowers because anytime you see a large white flower, it's quite likely pollinated by either moths or bats at night. In the case of Osa pulchra, this is pollinated by a moth, Darwin's moth, to be precise. You can see, I got a little picture of it right there with that long-ass proboscis.
Those are cool.
Out. Now you can see, look up close at the flowers, you got those 5
Oh, that's so fucking cool.
long pendant anthers, okay? Look how long those anthers are, okay? And you can tell they're the anthers because they're all yellow and covered in pollen. Then you look higher up there and you can see that it's actually the filament. Remember, it's stamens go pollen, anther filament, and pistils go stigma, style, ovary. Here's the style, and at the tip of that, of course, is the stigma. Now this thing, like I said, is only known from 2 populations in Costa Rica and Panama, probably 30 individuals left in the wild, probably far more individuals in botanic gardens and conservatories. Missouri Botanical Gardens got one, National Arboretum and Botanical Gardens got one, but they're probably all the same clone. I don't know if they're self-fertile or if they're actually grown from seed. I know they are a pain in the ass to root from cuttings, but there's a good chance that this plant will quite likely be extinct within our lifetime. Extinct in the wild. That is functionally extinct, With the way habitat destruction's going down there, forest clearance and whatnot, that's what happens when you're a bipedal species of primate that disregards every other organism in the biosphere that doesn't directly serve or benefit you. So anyway, but there you go. Osa pulchra, one of my favorite members of the coffee family, Rubiaceae, pollinated by moths at night in its jungle habitat. Look at that, a couple more Amorphophallus here. Wonder what species. See that? They're growing them too close together, but it's fine. You could do that with these because they just got that corm. Remember, that leaf is going to die in a couple months. Just sending that up to stash some energy down there in that corm. That's where the magic is. Then you can split up the corms later on, pot them up individually, whatever. Very adaptable species. When they're in that corm state, you can move them around, take them out to your dance classes with you, okay? Take some selfies and naked in front of the mirror, prancing around with them and shit. They're fine as long as you get them back in the ground by the time they're about to send out that leaf and send out the roots out again. Oh, nice staghorn fern, nice Platycerium. Looks pretty healthy.
Oh,
so
shit.
Moving on down, we're going to look at some of the Ceropegias. Another member of the milkweed family over there with a very peculiar flower. It's a vining member of the milkweed family from Mozambique and South Africa. Ceropegia. This is Ceropegia sandersonii. So that's that flower in there.
Oh, I love the flowers on that. I think they have these at my work. I need to take a cutting of them because they're so cool.
You can see the calyx right there, the sepals. Remember, sepals are calyx, petals are corolla. You got 5 petals fused into this. Now, to show you the magic, let's go over here. Let's look at this. The bug's got to actually go in there. They got to climb inside. So this flower is an
I work at a nursery, so I got a bunch of weird plants all over the place.
open. Those little bracts will eventually open. When they do open, they look like that, and a bug's actually got to crawl in there. Okay, so the really bizarre thing about this Ceropegius andersonii is not the fact that it has a trap flower. Okay, that's bizarre enough. You know, you get a fly to crawl in there, the little hairs trap the fly because they're pointing downwards, and after a few days they let the fly out. The really bizarre thing about this plant, this Ceropegius andersonii, is what it lures to attract those flies to the base of it. Okay, it produces a pheromone that mimics the pheromone produced by honeybees in distress. It gets weirder, so that the flies then crawl down into it looking for the honeybee because they parasitize the honeybee. Now, before
I gotta set up a way
to you that
like
honeybees,
trade cuttings. I need like a PO
they're
box.
flying around a flower. Sometimes you'll see crab spiders waiting on a flower, hiding out, hiding beneath the sepals. When a pollinator goes in to pollinate the flower, attracted by the nectar of the pollen, the spider comes out, boom, nabs it, injects some venom, and then sits with it while it dies and then starts to eat it, okay? Now, when that happens, honeybees use what's called their Nasonov gland, apparently after a guy named Nasonov, to produce pheromones that warn other bees, hey, this area is hot, I just got attacked, I'm dying, I'm going out, I'm on my way out, don't come here, be careful, heads up, you know? Basically a form of communication, all right? So he drops the dime on the spider. So when the honeybee emits those pheromones, evolution being what it is, another insect, these Desmomatopa flies, known as kleptoparasitic flies, which is, I mean, it sounds like something derogatory you'd call somebody a kleptoparasite. I've known plenty of those in my goddamn life. Anyway, these flies, these kleptoparasitic flies from the genus Desmomatopa, are then attracted to that pheromone. They pick up that pheromone and say, "Oh, look, it's a free meal. This spider just killed this honeybee. I was going to come over." And now the fly is, you know, small compared to the honeybee. Can't fly off with it. Can't just outright gank it or jack it or anything. But it does. They come by and they start feeding on the honeybee too. So it's just a free for all. Okay, just like
most of them just being
with the spider doing all the hard work, and the fly's just coming in for a free meal. So what this flower does, and this is the flower again. This flower produces compounds that are very similar in terms of their chemical signature to the pheromones produced by that honeybee in distress, because its main pollinator is those flies. Okay, its main pollinator are those kleptoparasitic flies that then are attracted to the pheromone, crawl down that tube, get stuck for a couple days. All the sexy parts of the flower are, of course, at the base of that tube, and then once the hairs wilt after a day or two, the downward pointing hairs on the inside of this floral tube, then the fly can crawl out, hopefully with one of the pollinia on its leg. I mean, it's a really bizarre. I understand almost why some of the creationists and intelligent designers and come up with their goofy ideas, because it just seems too good to be true. But of course, something like this probably occurs in baby steps. And Ceropegius andersonii is not the only plant to produce pheromones, to produce compounds that mimic the pheromones produced by insects, so as to lure other insects that either want to mate with those insects or prey on them. But either way, very strange, okay? Very unique. But again, once you've mimicked that pheromone of the honeybees in distress, now you got a monopoly on pollinators. Those Desmomatopa kleptoparasitic flies aren't going to be pollinating anything else. They're just going to be pollinating you. Okay, now I want to show you begonias real quick, okay? Old lady plant. I love the old ladies. I love the grannies, okay? They're always so nice, okay? Especially if you got an Italian grandma, they're going to feed you. Then they're going to, threaten to call a mob on you, which my grandma actually used to do. God bless her. Rest in peace. She got mad at me once because I was making fun of some of the stuff she had in her freezer. She had like Chinese duck or so. I don't know what the fuck. But anyway, I was just roasting her, and then she got mad at me, and she said, I could make a call and have you killed? And I said, you're probably right, and then I apologized, and it was fine. Anyway, she's a terrible driver, though, absolutely terrible driver. Anyway, so here's a begonia, okay? You only got two genera in the begonia family, Begoniaceae. Okay, the genus Begonia, and then another genus that's endemic to the Hawaiian Islands. But the odd thing about these plants is how you got unisexual flowers. Okay, you got a bunch of females on the bottom, you got males on the top. But look, the females. Let's find a female with an open flower. I don't think they got any. They may not have any. No, there you go. There's a female with open flower, 5 petals. Then look at the male, 4 petals. Okay, the reason, and look at this, they could be confusing too. See how that's the stigma right there. Okay, but it almost looks like little yellow anthers, and that's because that's the attractant for the pollinators. Okay, begonias, most of them don't produce nectar as a reward; they just produce pollen as a reward. Okay, because a lot of bees, bees are either going for nectar or pollen in most cases. So to get the bees to go to the first place, it's looking like anthers. You got a stigma, you got a female sex organ, a pistil. With the stigmas right there, it looks like anthers, okay? And then there's, of course, the true anthers that produce the pollen for the reward. So 4 petals on the males, 5 petals on the females. The easiest way, if you're looking at begonia flowers, to tell that it's a female is, look at that. You got the winged ovary right there. Inferior ovary, subtendon flower. The males don't got that, okay? So a monoecious plant, unisexual flowers, but flowers are either, you get both flowers in the same plant. So unisexual flowers are either male or female, never both, never perfect, never bisexual, but you got them both on the same goddamn plant. And then, of course, that very distinct leaf shape, almost succulent with the red stems and all the hairs and shit, okay? Quite a ubiquitous plant in the subtropics, very important, okay? So don't think of it as just, the old lady plant for the indoor gardens or whatever the shit. It's a very important genus. No offense to the old ladies out there, and especially no offense to the Italian grandmas that might, threaten to have you killed by their mafia.
Oh, I'm I don't know too much about like leafy plants. I'm mostly like a cactus and succulent grower, so like, I don't know about begonias. I don't think I've ever had one.
Bokeh cousin who's kind of a sleazebag to begin with. Okay, there you go, begonia. Oh yeah, so here we go. Another interesting plant from the tropics. Okay, this is Hibiscus schizopetala from tropical Africa. You can see it's got a pendant habit here, probably pollinated by birds in habitat. But this particular species gives us a great illustration of what's going on with the genus Hibiscus in general. Now let's take a look at this. So you got your showy petals and what the shit. You can see them; they're all fringed and lacy and whatnot. Okay, looking like some sort of deranged clown costume from the '80s. Okay, a lot of cocaine in that clown system, by the way. I should mention that. Okay, picked up a clown hitchhiking once in Mexico. He tried to jack some shit. He was in the back seat of the truck. Tried to jack some shit out the back. I looked back and saw him, and when I saw him, he gave me this face like I just caught him with his pants down, like he had a log hanging out of his ass or something. Kind of, woo, like that. And I just kind of chuckled and said, okay, this is it. You gotta. Actually, I don't even think we kicked him out of the truck. I just had my friend Pete watch him, and then we ended up giving him a ride to where he ended up going. But it was endearing. It was funny. Okay. Anyway, so this is what we're looking at here. This is called an androphore. All right, and it's an androphore because it's got all those androece. It's got the androece, all the stamens and what the shit fused to that central column, but it's also got inside that column. Now that column is hollow inside, and inside, coming out of that column, is the stigma right there. So there are 5 stigma lobes. Okay, and all hibiscus have that. All hibiscus have an androphore, as well as many other members of the Malvaceae, Malvoideae subfamily. They got that androphore. Very ubiquitous flower trait. Very ubiquitous synapomorphy for members of the goddamn cotton family. Cotton has the same thing. Bunch of stamens, okay, dozens of stamens fused around a central column, and you got up at the top, coming out of that thing, you got the stigma, okay, which can have 5 lobes. It can have, quite a few dozen lobes in some cases. Like this thing just blew a load all over my hand. Anyway, there you go. There you go. Hibiscus schizopetala. Oh, look at this. This one didn't open yet. Look at that. That's kind of nice. Almost looks like a piece of candy. Some sort of, a hideous tie-dye design. How about that? Look at that. There you go. You got some cacao. You got some theobroma. Wish this thing was blooming because the flowers are fucking tiny. Pretty strange. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Got a kick out of it. Got your kicks, felt some shits and giggles, chuckled a little bit, kicked yourself in the balls, kicked yourself in the groin. If you don't have any balls, that's fine too. Threw yourself down the stairs. And then laughed a little bit more, because we all need a laugh in these fucking dark times. These fucking dark times where everything seems to be collapsing. But don't focus on it now. Just look at the begonia. Is that nice? Okay, that's all I got for you today. Go fuck yourself. Bye.
Right. Oh, let me see.
Okay, yourself down the stairs. And then laugh.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it looks like it.
A little bit more, because we all need a laugh in these fucking dark times. These fucking...
Yeah, I got a bunch of cool, like, bromeliads everywhere, too. Let's see. Crystals for protection.
Have you ever?
When crystals don't work... let's move on from Crystal Lady and we'll come back to her. My first video vlog. Tops. Getting to know Ronnie in Flat Earth Simulation Nation Realization. Oh, this is the guy that wants to start his own Flat Earth country. Oh my god. Holy shit, that's expensive.
So, what is it that brought you to Flat Earth? What is it that brought you to Event Skeptic or Jason Hoffberg or Wake Souls or anything? What is it that you're curious for? What is it that you seek to learn? For me, I want to know everything, or as much about it as I can. I can kind of sympathize with Adam and Eve.
Pilled audio.
The fruit of knowledge. How it made us so curious, you know?
What is with this audio? Like, did he intentionally make it weird like this? I mean, he did it with the video, so... What is he doing?
I'm curious about everything. And I guess... I think it's natural. Now, I definitely draw a distinct line between curiosity and wickedness. There's an innocence involved with curiosity, and there's a premeditation involved with wickedness. But tonight, on Beyond Flat Earth, I really do hope that we can get into some pretty important topics.
It's like he's screwing around with the stereo balance or something. It seems like it like spins around your head a little bit every once in a while. Is this some like weird way? Does he think he's hypnotizing you or something?
You know, if you guys can see some of the scenery, I'll show you the lake a little bit. I wish you can't really see it, but it's so beautiful here and peaceful. I just love it. I wish you can't really see too much. But, so yeah, I just really hope that we can reach out and connect with as many truth seekers as possible, and anyone who's curious like us. You know, huge shout out to Jason Offenberg for all the hard work he does. Make sure you definitely check out in the comments below the links to his vlogging channel, which is amazing. And make sure that you stay tuned tonight. Get involved. Show up. Tell us how you're feeling. Share your thoughts in the chat. Measurements are accurate, non-biased, and reliable. Because that's truly what I want to be as a person. I wish to cause wickedness. It's such a hard... There's my thoughts. What could I tell you about me? So, my name is Ronnie James Harris. I was born August 8th, 1980 at 7:47 a.m. Almost at 8. Almost at 8:80 at 8 a.m. But no, I was 3 months premature. My mom had a partial hysterectomy and was having kids. And the doctor said you were pregnant with me. And they didn't think that she would make it through pregnancy. And then I was 3 months early, and they didn't think I would survive that. Everybody threw me under the bus, so to speak, and I'd like to say that I'm proof that miracles do happen. I weigh 3 pounds and 9 ounces, and they said I was not going to grow. I was going to be slower and smaller than all the other kids.
Yeah.
I have to fight all the odds, and you can too. I guess, one of the most important qualities that I feel that I possess is that I favor the underdog. I root for the ones who don't have anyone rooting for them. And I don't mind losing. I play to play the game. I don't play just to win.
I just lost.
Everybody who says that they don't want to win is lying. So I can't say that I don't want to win, but I enjoy the game itself. I enjoy, being a part of a team. I enjoy having.
I need to find like a way to put like a like a timer that says how long it's been since I lost the game and just reset it every time it happens.
Having individual moments. I think the truth itself is going to be revealed irregardless of any one individual. But I think as a collective, we can experience and reveal things much quicker than individually. But individually is the only true way that we could ever really experience or understand things. Things don't just materialize on their own. They have to have investigation and an observer to observe it. Yeah.
Just drinking his Tim Hortons. What? What is going on? Oh, it's this. You know what? Let's find another one Prince E video. And the 9 to 5. Oh, is he based? Everyone in their 20s needs to see this. Why kissing is better than sex.
This is crazy. Did you know that between 9 and 18 months, 90% of couples lose the excitement they felt when they fell in love? One solution to this may be kissing. Scientific studies have looked at the impact of kissing in a relationship, and it is now thought that kissing is more important, get this, than regular sex. People in less successful relationships
Well, then just don't have regular sex. Do some weird shit.
experience less kissing. Relationship expert John Gottman suggests that couples should share 2 6-second kisses each day. Not a kiss on the cheek, not a peck, but a juicy, passionate kiss that.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking maybe the problem is couples that don't kiss each other don't really like each other that much. That might be what this is. I don't think it's the kissing that's helping. It's the fact that if you're not kissing someone like every day, maybe the relationship is kind of running out of steam.
Will make your grandmother look away in shame. Try the 6-second kiss and keep the fire in your relationship burning. Peace.
Disrespectful son Rejects mom, lives to regret it.
Ever since I could remember, I hated my mom. She was different to other moms. She only had one eye. I didn't have a dad growing up. It was just me and her. When she dropped me off at school, everyone would stare at her. So then they began staring at me. It was so humiliating. She got a job cooking at the school, and then things got worse. I stopped going to lunch completely. The kids would bully me, and the older I got, the worse the bullying became. One day after school, I just couldn't take it anymore. I screamed at her. I told her I hated her.
Why did you have to lose your eye? Why did you do this to me?
I couldn't wait to leave home. And eventually the time...
Why couldn't you be cool and wear an eye patch like all the other people with one eye? Now everyone thinks you're... They think you suck, Mom.
Came to pack my things.
I want to be the kid with the pirate mom.
And I never looked back. I took jobs here and there. I traveled the world and eventually got married and had kids of my own. My childhood was over, and thankfully my mom's face started to fade from my memory. One evening after dinner, me and the family were playing games. There was so much laughter that I didn't even hear the knock at the door. My son opened it and started crying. And that's when I saw my mother standing in the doorway. Suddenly, all those old feelings came rushing back to me. It seemed like history repeating itself.
Yeah, this is
wannabe
Dharma,
my son
man.
frightened as I once was. I told her to never come back, and I slammed the door.
Kids used to bully me in elementary school because you have one eye. I have not reflected on this in over 40 years. I still hate you.
I explained everything to my wife that night. I told her how much I was bullied and how I always lived in fear. She took my hand and explained to me that she was still my mother and she loved me. After weeks of persuasion, I finally decided to visit my mom. The long drive back to my childhood home seemed to be over instantly. I waited outside the house for a while, and then I knocked on the door. But
it's like
there was no
your,
answer.
Your mother's other eye popped out finally.
The neighbor who I had not seen for so long
She's completely
recognized
eyeless.
Me. And in that spot on that doorstep,
and then she died.
She broke the news that my mother
She died of eye failure. Good night.
She let me inside with a spare key, and I sat in my mom's chair. It was the loudest silence I had ever heard. I spotted a handwritten letter with my name on it, and inside it read, "My dearest son, not a moment passes when I don't think
of you. I'm sorry I scared your children that night. I just knew it would have been the last time I could see you. When you were very little, we were in a terrible accident. I lost your eye. As a mother, I couldn't stand what...
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Is it gonna be an eye transplant? Did she donate an eye? Oh my, please. Please make that what's happening. Please, let's make that what's happening. Please.
Watching you having to grow up with one eye. So, I gave you mine.
Woo!
I was so proud of my son who was seeing a whole new world for me in my place with that eye. I never meant to bring you.
How does that work? I love it. It's like Darman, but it's like just so much more deranged.
Anything.
No, you can't transplant people's eyes. And like, imagine an adult giving a child their eye. They would have like a gigantic eye. They're like,
than all always love you and will always be with you. Love, Mom.
I think they can replace, like, they can transplant your cornea or something, but they can't take, like, an entire eye out and, like, plop it in somebody's head. Like, if you lose the entire eye, it's game over. Let's just confirm. Let's confirm. What parts of the eye can be transplanted? Okay, the cornea. Oh, you could put placenta to, like, heal eye burns and shit. They can transplant eyelashes, tear ducts. Working on retinas, but you can't just pop in a new eye. If you could, nobody would be blind, because, like, people with eyes die all the time. You'd just be doing eye transplants all the time. And you'd be able to cure blindness. All those who read this, may your parents live longest. Stop saving people. What? Die. What is going on?
I don't know who needs to hear this, but this is why you need to stop trying to save everybody. See, a baby chick, when it is hatching out of the egg, you see it struggling. But do you know what would happen if you were to save that baby chick from struggling, to help it out of the egg? It would die shortly thereafter. Now you may ask, what? Wait, why is that? Well, it is because now that baby chick is not strong enough to survive in the real world. You took away something that was vital for its existence. It needed to go through that struggle to have the strength and the endurance to be able to survive in nature. I know this is gonna sound cruel, but just like that baby chick, there are some people in our lives who we want to help. We want to help them out of the goodness of our hearts. But when we help them, we enable their demise. Sometimes
this guy sucks so bad. It's like he's trying to teach people morality and stuff with his little videos, but his morality's so weird that it's not. He's just giving people bad advice.
Sometimes the way to offer the most help is to allow them to suffer more.
What?
Before they get the strength to say, I've had enough, damn it. I want to change my life for me. I want to change my situation. They need to get hit over the head a few more times. And another fact is this.
What the fuck?
Some people, deep down, they don't even want to be saved. See, their problems have become part of their identity. And so if you were to solve their problems, they would lose themselves. And that's...
It's like, I know this person. I see him as a poor person. If I were to help him out by giving him some of my money, I would be changing who he is. He would not be a poor person anymore if I gave him like $1,000.
That's why they don't change. So deep down or subconsciously, they never wanted the answers to their problems. They kind of really just wanted to complain about them. So the next time you want to help somebody or save somebody, I want you to think about this egg and think about if you're doing more harm than good.
I'm thinking about those eggs. This would almost make a good emote. Just think about the egg. You know, should I make an emote out of the egg? Just think of... Oh, that was a good one there. Let's do this. Well, actually, I'll just save the image and I'll make it later. So I don't feel like doing it right now. Egg. There we go. Come on, you can do it. You can close. There we go.
Good. If your helping is really enabling their demise. You know, we want so badly for some people to change. Some of our best friends, some of our families, and we have such good intentions. But as they say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. We must accept them as they are. We change people by example, not by explanation.
Exactly. So when I see Jeff Bezos, I immediately have more money.
And especially not by condemnation. Because that's why Einstein said, setting an example is not the main means of influencing people.
Let's see. It's probably a fake Einstein quote. Einstein setting an example. He probably got it from this meme, and it's probably not actually. Or is it? Did we actually get a good example of a real Einstein quote? Oh. Okay, so it's an Albert Schweitzer quote, not Albert Einstein. Somebody screwed up. Yeah, it's like a misquote of a misquote. Misattributed misquote. Yeah, that's what happened. Somebody confused the Alberts. I like corn. Where?
It is the only means. Peace.
Oh, what is don't go back to school? Watch till the end.
I got 3 words for you. Children will die. Seriously? You want to open school, sir? This is a death trap.
That's a load of crap. Listen, quarantine's over. The kids have to go back.
Do you know how hard it's gonna be to socially distance 30 kids in a classroom? That's a joke. And you know those school bathrooms don't even have soap. That's a frightening vision, and something ain't right with it. How come you politicians have your kids homeschooled, yet you want to sacrifice the health and life we're living? That's like being pro-war. But no, you're not the one fighting in it.
Don't worry. Only a few kids may die. That's life. We can't control it. Plus,
he's doing the Neil Breen villain thing where they're just like, I am an evil person. I'm fine with children dying. Isn't that corrupt?
It's proven that kids are strong and more protected from COVID.
That's not true, sir. Don't play that political game. I know you expect us to surf the second wave, but this study out of South Korea says that children are affected exactly the same. Plus, all kids aren't strong. Some have obesity, others breathing trouble.
Oh, but
and
yeah,
none
I guess you're
live
right.
in a
They've
bubble,
become
which means if they catch the virus and take it home, their parents and grandparents are in trouble.
Yeah, but virtual learning is not ideal. Kids just don't learn like that.
It's not ideal.
You are sad. Hospitals are overrun, borders closed, but you want kids to go to school and play Corona tag. You know, it's funny how all of a sudden you care about education. See, I think it's really about cash, cause no cap, I learned more watching YouTube videos than I did in class. So don't tell me school is perfect, cause that's bogus. I'm not trolling, but I knew a kid who graduated high school and couldn't even read his own diploma.
Oh, grow up.
I'm serious. See, classroom learning is equal or worse to e-learning. And if you don't believe me, check out this study that concluded classroom learning is equal or worse to e-learning.
Yeah, but kids need socialization and physical interaction, okay?
Seriously? Seriously, school tells kids to sit their butt down and don't talk to each other for 8 hours a day.
Oh yeah,
you call that socialization? That's not smart. Plus, how are kids gonna interact when they are 6 feet apart?
Okay, wise guy. What about our great teacher?
I'm usually 6 feet apart from the people that I interact with. Like, what?
Their presence is needed.
Now that I can agree with, yes. Teachers are the most important factor for a student's success, which is why you should treat them with more respect. I mean, they give...
Yeah, he's interacting with this guy about 6 feet apart.
Their best, yet many have to buy their own supplies because you refuse to invest. And once again, during COVID, they are the ones you neglect. See, you're giving them the short end of the stick. God forbid, but are you gonna pay the medical bills when these great teachers get sick? I mean, I get your point. Socialization and hanging with friends is needed for a healthy mind. And the only way I think physical class could work is if we have it outside.
Outside?
Yeah, outside. You know, kids do learn better when they're actually alive.
This guy. Don't even try. Do I look like a fool to you?
No, of course not. I know you want more business as usual. You love the fact that prisoners get more time outside than students do. But see, outside learning is what they did during the Spanish flu and tuberculosis too. Still social distance, follow all protocols for prevention, but give them fresh air and vitamin D, which are proven to boost the immune system. So here's what I conclude. Give them 1 to 2 days a week in an outside classroom. Those who need hot meals, any day should be able to pick up the food. But the rest of class will be online. Now, when in class, follow all the guidelines, like masks and/or face shields, which protect the eyes, and get creative. Let students police themselves. For every day of safe behavior, they get points. If they get enough points, they get, I don't know, a week vacation.
Give them bus bucks for social distancing. We gotta inject some Termel into this guy's plan.
Some protocols from other countries that I want you to read and understand. Because one life lost is one too many. Let's leave nothing up to chance. I know you have other interests involved, but even you shouldn't want this blood on your hands.
Share today. What does he? Is he actually like promoting this as an actual plan that people should follow? Let's see. 10 signs you might be experiencing a spiritual awakening. Okay.
10 signs.
Oh my god, I saw this one. We're gonna watch both of them, but I crashed the presidential debate.
Are there any more questions?
10 signs you might be experiencing a spiritual awakening.
10 signs that you might be going through a spiritual awakening. Guys, what is a spiritual awakening? A spiritual awakening is when you awaken to the spiritual dimension of reality. You are starting to see through the illusions of the world, and you are living life with an expanded clarity. Here are the 10 signs that you might be going through a spiritual awakening. Number 1, you feel like you don't fit in, like you don't belong. You feel almost like an alien. You were born
You feel these common human experiences that almost everyone feels like at some point in their life.
either too early or too late. You find yourself out of harmony with family and friends, and you find yourself constantly being misunderstood, which has led you to loneliness or feelings of introversion. As they say, no man or woman is a prophet in their own land. Number 2, you stop partying and drinking. Things like partying and drinking you used to engage in.
So you've turned 30.
But now you find yourself having less and less interest, or you never had any interest in the first place. This is because deep down, you know that you were made for something greater, something deeper, something more impactful. Number 3, you no longer strongly identify with your race, your gender, or your culture. You realize that these things are just labels that were placed on top of you. You know they are not you. They were added on top of you. They are not your essence. Just as you do not strongly identify as being an eater just because you eat, you no longer strongly identify with being a German, a American, a Jew, black or white. These things feel like clothing that you wear, that you fashion, but they are not you. Number 4, your empathy is growing. Empathy literally meaning to see through the eye of the other. You have been or are becoming more sensitive to other people's plights. You also show less judgment, and you know that everyone is on their own individual path in life. Number 5, you desire to connect with nature more. You find yourself wanting to go camping, want to go to the
Okay, so you just got out of quarantine.
beach or to the forest. You are starting to notice the beauty in trees, in plants. You see,
yeah, he's just like saying things like that everyone that's like getting out of quarantine is feeling. March 5th, 2021.
The universe in a single blade of grass. Number 6, you have gone through or are going through depression. Now this is a big one because many of the spiritual masters
he keeps using that footage of the guy like crying in the shower.
The spiritual masters have gone through what's called a dark night of the soul, or many dark nights of the soul that eventually showed them the light. Depression often forces us to look inward.
This guy's like
and
hypnotic a little
it is
bit.
inward looking that we find our gift. As they say, triumph is often nearest when defeat seems inescapable. Number 7, you are no longer so strongly attached to outcomes. Maybe you used to have a death grip on things, but now you allow things and people to take their own course. You have stopped fighting against the wave, and now you go with the flow. You stop.
Oh yeah, well, when what do they call it? The slosh zone. When you're in the slosh zone, get back at me.
Forcing things to happen, and now you allow things to happen. You do the best you can and let go. In the Tao Te Ching, some say the wisest book ever written.
Very
it says,
wise book.
The master's power is like this. He lets things come and go effortlessly, without desire. He never expects results. Thus, he is never disappointed. He is never disappointed. Thus, his spirit never grows old. Number 8, your awareness is growing. You are starting to observe your own habits, your own thought patterns, as though they are being done by another person. You are no longer living in a
So you're dissociating.
robotic way with automatic actions and reactions. Instead, you begin to zoom out and witness your habits, picking the ones that you like and discarding the ones you don't like. Ramesh Balkasar says, if you want to escape the suffering of life, there is only one way. Become the spectator of your life. Number 9, the answer is you. See, you have come to realize that you have the say in your life. Nobody else. You find your
What? It's like, I control the things I do. Wow.
yourself no longer blamestorming, picking people to blame, but now you take responsibility for who you are and where you are in your life. And number 10, now this is probably the most apparent sign, but you have experienced a non-dual awakening. All has merged into one, and you no longer see separation. You have obtained God consciousness. The you that you thought you were has dissolved, and now you abide in Sat Chitananda, existence, consciousness, bliss. Your only decision now, which isn't your decision, is to go and meditate in the Himalayan mountains, or to devote your life to awakening other beings.
So, like, become a monk or become a grifter. Those are the two paths of New Age thought. And actually, that's pretty accurate. You either actually dedicate your life to your spiritual awakening, or you decide to be like this guy and grift people on YouTube.
To this state of awareness.
Yeah, shitting in a Honda. I'm achieving enlightenment today. I might have to take the car to the detailer, but...
Or to simply live a normal life, but with a depthless smile on your face. Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. But no more wood chopper. Thank you guys for watching this video. Are you experiencing any of these 10 signs? If so, write them in the comment section below. I'd love to read about them. Peace.
Let's see him at the presidential debates. Oh God.
Questions from the audience.
Yeah, I have a question. Are we on candid camera?
Excuse me?
I mean, is this a joke? 300 million people in America, and this is our only hope. The people who want our vote.
Okay, someone take...
The Biden guy looks like Richard Dunn with no glasses on.
his microphone.
No, I'm gonna say this. Get off me.
I feel like if I texted that number, I would never be able to, like, unsubscribe from it. I would just keep getting text from it. Like,
Someone needs to address the elephant in the room and the donkey. So excuse my definite lack of political correctness and etiquette, but there's a reason more people vote for the American Idol than the American president. Rest in peace, Robin Williams. You were right. You said, look at the word politics. Polia, Latin word meaning many. Ticks meaning blood-sucking creatures. He was being facetious, but that is no falsehood. Why is it always the lesser of two evils, never the greater of two goods? For too long it has been normal for politicians to make empty promises and proclamations. Normal for them to dismiss the Constitution and Declaration. Normal for them to think more about the next election than the next generation. Well, it is 2020, by golly. Ain't it time for a new normal?
Ha! The new normal. I'm tired of people like you criticizing us. Tell us about this new normal. Why don't you come up here and tell us how you would do it if you were the president?
Me?
Duh. Watch this, Sleepy Joe.
Shut up, man. Oh, first thing I would do if I was president is quit.
See, I knew he was a coward.
Let me finish. See, the word president literally means
my
preside
God.
over or...
He's just slam poetry dictionary definitions. Oh my God. Everything about this is so bad.
Sit before. I would quit my position of being everybody's superior. I would sit together with the people as equals. Next, I would take Congress back to kindergarten.
See, I knew he was slow.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, see, everything government needs to know they should have learned in kindergarten. Think about it. Our climate policy should be based on the kindergarten philosophy of clean up your own mess and put things back how you found them. Our foreign policy should be don't hit people.
Yes, that should... This guy's got it. Let's just pass these laws. Don't hit people. Put things back. Play fair.
Economic strategy, yeah, play fair, and if you hurt someone, make it better. In our domestic policy, hold hands and stick together.
We need to say sorry to all the countries that we did coups in, and then we can be friends again.
Even though we'd have kindergarten policies, if I was president, I would use a lot of adult language. Some people may be offended, but I wouldn't budge. I would use strong, four-letter words like love, like hope, like care, like free, like hero. Yes, I would awaken the hero and shiro in all of us. Because change rarely comes from Washington. The stimulus checks will always bounce in the long run and come back insufficient funds, because you cannot stimulate a country until you stimulate the hearts.
It's easy to speak rainbows and sunshine. Where would you stand specifically on key issues?
You know, I'm glad you brought that up. See, if I was president, my key issues wouldn't be getting rid of TikTok. My key issues would unlock the doors of freedom that have been blocked for so many. So we, as a country, would focus on eliminating child trafficking, the equality of all genders.
Very strange that would be the very first thing he dropped. Oh no, is he Q-pilled? Is he Q-pilled? Oh God, this guy, I just thought he was a Darman clone, but oh no. Oh no.
The genocide of helpless animals, we must be defenders. Because a nation's greatness is measured not by how it treats the wealthy, but how it treats its weakest members.
Yeah,
so many
is
rich
so
folks
bad.
in government is sad. See, they've been worried more about securing the bag than securing us from a crash.
How dare you?
Sir, don't get mad. Everyone should be able to prosper, not just the prosperous. So if I was president, I would get with the people and decide how our budgets should be spent in a way that's fair, transparent, and makes sense. Maybe instead of war, we'd help unemployed people struggling to pay rent. That would increase our nation's strength. If I was president and in the Oval Office.
When he was talking about like the specific issues he would tackle, the very first one he dropped was ending child trafficking. So I'm like, uh-oh, is he QAnon?
We would stop mopping up the floor and finally turn off the faucet.
What do you mean?
Well, instead of getting to the root causes, we keep trying to fix the symptoms. For instance, we spend billions on cures, but practically nothing on prevention. You guys talk about healthcare, but refuse to mention the broken food system. Dudes, listen, COVID wouldn't have killed so easily and with such frequency had we not had...
Wait, did you just like take a shot at healthcare? Like, what? It's like, oh, you want Medicare for all, but people need food too. It's like, yes, give them both.
The pre-existing epidemic of obesity. What's the reasoning 21 ingredients are in this McDonald's fry? Don't you see our fast food has given us
magic fries out of nowhere.
Lives? Guys, do you even care? Or maybe you're not aware that children born in the year 2000 will be the first generation with a shorter lifespan than their parents. We should be embarrassed. If I was president, universal wellness will be at the top of our list. Doctors will be paid to keep you healthy, not just treat you when you're sick. And as far as mental health, we would work fast to pass a bill. Cause this next fact is sad but real. Did you know more soldiers die from suicide when they come home compared to those killed on the battlefield? It is so much we...
Did the cop just say, I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark? Is that a cop or is that just a military guy? I don't feel so good.
Soldiers die from suicide when they come home, compared to those killed on the battlefield. It is so much we have to rebuild. As far as women go, they should be free to make their own choices for their own bodies. Men should never regulate it. Students would have the final say in exactly how they are educated. Basically, what I'm saying is, to solve problems, everyone's voice should be heard. There are so many folks with brilliant ideas that would finally get the attention they deserve. Because the strongest nation in the world...
Yeah, the MAGA guy's nodding. Well, my entire moral system has just changed because of this man's speak poetry. I guess I'm not racist anymore. Better take this hat off. That's how this is gonna end. The MAGA guy's gonna take his hat off and, like, throw it away.
Will never be the US, will never be Russia or anywhere in Asia. The strongest nation is imagination. Imagine if government and people actually collaborated. We would solve real problems and make transformations. We would shine like the stars in the sun. We would use music to heal the world like guitars over guns.
How about race relations? Where would you stand on that issue?
Well, as far as race relations, we gotta be brave. So if I was president, I would make travel in the country mandatory, all expenses paid. Because when you see people who look different from you up close, you soon realize we are all the same. Also, I would tell my white brothers and sisters to wake up and heal the past injustices carried out by their ancestors.
That's it, Nani.
And the current ones. I would tell my black brothers and sisters what Dr. King said, that black supremacy is just as dangerous as white supremacy. It's not about white.
Oh god, now he's is he going after Black Lives Matter, calling them black supremacists? Is that what he's hinting at? Oh god, dude. God, this guy sucks.
White power or black power or any love of power.
Oh, now he's making a false equivalence between white power and black power. I think that's what he's doing. Fuck. This guy sucks. I hate him.
It's about the power of love, and you can't spell evolve without it.
And how about poverty? How would you solve that one?
When it comes to poverty, that's easy. $200 billion worth of food thrown away each year. Instead of trash cans, put it into the empty stomachs of the needy. Stop being greedy. Everyone has a right to be fed. In the US, there are 5 empty homes for each person without one. Everyone has a right to a roof over their head.
He's talking about communism.
No, sir. I ain't talking about communism or
socialism. Here we go. Of course.
I'm talking about humanism.
No, you're talking incoherent nonsense that you mostly took from, like, motivational quotes you saw on Instagram. That's what you're doing.
Inspiration is not Karl Marx, it is the human heart. Plus, don't you call yourselves Christian? Well, at the end of your life, you will stand in front of God. He won't care if you won some high office. Believe me, he will say, yeah, congratulations. But when I was hungry, you didn't feed me. When I was naked, you didn't clothe me. I had no house and you gave me no shelter. Guys, have we forgotten about our sisters and brothers? I mean, the meaning of life is to take care of each other. Yo, which camera is on me? This one? Look, America. My ancestors came to this country on slave ships. Maybe yours came on immigrant ships. Whatever the original ship, we're in the same boat now. And it's sinking. It is a dark time for us all. Yeah. It's hard. But it is only in the darkness that we see the stars. We must not turn on each other, but to each other. Give up our pride. Left wing, right wing, a bird with only one wing can't fly. Or flies in circles. Forget the labels. We've tried everything, from politics to riots, rallies, marches, protests, and they've all played a role. But now, today we need something bold. We need each and every soul to wake up, to look deep in your core. What problem does your heart...
Is that guy supposed to be Bernie? Is that what... This is supposed to be like the Bernie stand-in, isn't he? Oh no. Oh no.
What problem does your heart want to solve? Do not ignore. Because when we all answer the call, we open a new door that elevates humanity and creates a new normal that we have never seen before. I wish there were mirrors in every voting booth. Because the truth is, we have always been and always will be.
Bernie would be like, okay, great. Okay.
the ones we are waiting for.
Right there.
Guys, listen, don't click off yet. I want to say this. See, it's not about America.
Just kidding.
Are there any more questions from the audience?
And country. Listen, don't click off yet. I want to say this. See, it's not about America. It's not about any country. Countries are artificial lines drawn on a man-made map. There's one world, and it is up to us to come together and bring this world to where it needs to be. I know it can seem hopeless at times, but it
Alex Jones would lose his shit at this guy.
isn't. Speak up, use your voice, vote. And despite what you may see on TV, there are people doing good. I worked on this project with an organization called the Elevate Prize Foundation.
Okay, who are these? Who are these guys? Oh, powered by MIT Solve. Okay. Looks like a legit foundation, I guess. Is he involved at all, or is he just doing like a fundraiser? Okay, it looks like he's not involved in this.
They award $5 million each year to individuals and organizations that are working hard to solve problems to change this world. Not only do they give them funding, but they give them access to mentors and coaches and help them build a huge following. This year,
I thought helping people was bad.
Have selected 10 winners. They are...
Yeah. Like, he could be, like, light Q-pilled. He might not realize that a lot of, like, I don't know. Yeah, it definitely raised some red flags, but this guy's ideology is all over the place.
Are amazing people, amazing heroes, and I want you to check them out. You can make a difference by
But he could have probably been exposed to a little bit of Q from, like, the 5D shit, so you never know.
supporting their work, following their journey, and sharing what they are doing in this world. The time is now to come together. The time is now to awaken the hero in all of us. I want you to go to elevateprize.org and learn more. Peace.
Okay. Strange Truth Project winner. Oh, this is a 2-hour documentary. Wake Souls, developments. Let's look at Jeff Davis. If you remember from that Alex Jones documentary, this is the man that did the narration over Joe Campana's house being demolished after he had stuck his, apparently, his election signs all over it. Like, the house, as it's being demolished, is covered in this guy's failed election bid, like, vote for me signs. Let's see. Let's find something pilled. Easter Evil Exposed.
Legendary baby. Jeff Davis Show. Worldwide. Here's Alvin Neal Davis. Come on, Alvin. He generally likes to get some screen time.
What the fuck?
On the legendary Jeff Davis Show, baby.
Is it really that legendary? This has 37 views. And it came out in 2019.
Back here. Legendary Jeff Davis Show banner. About 25 years old, as seen in numerous videos, YouTubes, photos, who knows where's else. Now, today is
Jeff has seen better days. Ever since Alex Jones cut ties with him, he's never been the same.
17 April 2019. It's about 10:30 p.m. Central Time, and the weather forecast is for severe storms later tonight. So here in Central Texas. So I'm gonna.
He's like the dumb Chud version of Zizek.
Doing this hopefully before if these storms hit, I have this recorded. Because this is another one of them Jeff Davis show babies. Here's baby Alvin Neal Davis. Generally likes to get some screen time on the legendary Jeff Davis show. Say hi, Al. One of our babies. Alvin Neal Davis. Okay, now, this particular broadcast, once again, it's as good as it's gonna get in the world, period.
Kitty.
Now, first off,
I want to go a step further and claim that the notion of happiness itself is very ambiguous in its implications.
It's just uncanny.
You know some of them. I apologize in advance. Examples. Maybe I even used this story here 10 years ago. I was some 15, 20 years ago, I think it was Lithuania, Vilnius, their capital, and we debated when are people happy. And we came to a nice, unequivocal result. Czechoslovakia, the darkest Husak years.
Well, let's try the reverse.
Almost. This democratic socialism, it was crushed by...
how to live their lives. I'm just going to present information that I've studied pretty much all my lifetime, and people can decide to do with it whatever they want. This particular show, 19 April, has to do with organized religion, and we have Easter coming up here. Whatever date it is coming Sunday. Now, I've been studying, like I say, the Bible here most of my life. And same as Christmas, Easter is another heathen festival. And I'm going to show you Bible passages that, like I say, you can believe it whether you want to believe it or not.
Oh god, it's got a Bible video. Let's move on. Those are never fun. Except for that one lady that says weed is evil. Well, that's... Professional acting career. Let's see. Does he talk about the Alex Jones movie?
Legendary, baby. Jeff Davis Show. Worldwide. 28 December. 2000, year of my Lord, 2018. 28 December. 2018, legendary. Jeff Davis Show, baby. Don't believe it? Google Jeff Davis Show. Google Jeff Davis Show, baby, while it's still available. Here's one of my babies, Al. Buttons is down here. We have 3 cats. We love them. They're just family here. Here's Al. He generally likes to make Alvin Neal Davis. He generally likes to make an appearance in the legendary Jeff Davis Show. Here, Buttons.
This looks so legendary, Jeff.
Buttons May Davis. It's okay, sweet. Here's Buttons May Davis. So
it's so fat.
Philip Neal Davis.
Good
I think he's
night.
under the table over there. So, now, Jeff Davis Show's always been a legend, is a lifelong animal lover.
He almost said
Dogs,
legendary
cats.
instead of life.
I even go to zoos and snake farms and stuff, and I'm enchanted by them. Now, this particular YouTube is going to be something different. I'm going to be talking about the number of years that I've been the Jeff Davis Show, or me personally, have been in front of cameras and microphones. Specifically, 20 years, almost 20 years of acting. Now, I was born in Kent, Ohio. I was born in Ravenna, Ohio, Robinson Memorial Hospital. Grew up in Kent, Ohio. I barely graduated Kent Roosevelt High School in 1978. But 1976, 1977, my junior year, I was still a Kent Roosevelt student, but I took a half-a-day class at a Stowe, Ohio high school called TV Media. And that was really the first introduction to the Jeff Davis Show for me, although I was the biggest goof-off in the class, literally. But over a year, half a day, there were some things I, did in front of the cameras and microphones. I was an amateur Golden Gloves boxer back in 76, 77. And I did some films on, basic punches, basic stances, like reporting on it. So really that was my first taste of cameras and microphones. In 1990, my first run for U.S. Congress in Austin, Texas, that sealed the deal for me. I've been getting in front of cameras and microphones ever since. Almost 30 years. As a congressional candidate in 1990, I was invited onto different TV shows, different like KLRU TV studios in Austin, UT campus as a congressional candidate. Different radio stations in Austin, Texas, press interviews, and I was introduced to Austin, Texas, public access television as a guest in 1990. And that pretty well sealed the deal. First off, the Austin, Texas has probably the best public access television facility in America. And from 1990 all the way to 2012, the Jeff Davis Show, baby, was having big time shows.
Yeah, big time guest appearances on public access shows.
Out of Channel Austin Public Access TV. Worldwide shows, because they were being streamed over the internet. So,
that makes me wonder.
Looks much bigger, but it's right here, and it's see-through. Oh, my hand! Where'd my hand go? Ah! Well, anyways, yeah, look at that.
So how, I know there's different variations of bonsais. Yeah. What's the tallest bonsai that there is?
Well,
de Cristo Jesús. En este momento ponemos nuestra mente, nuestro corazón.
It's just rhyming business with business. Business. Like to do business. I'm in charge of the business. Kingdom.
I'm not trying to make a sale, but this right here is about heaven to hell. Seek the kingdom first and you can stack your mail, yo. Do it that way and there's no way that you can fail, yo. And let the homies in the hood follow your trail, yo. My business is all about the children. Innocent lives been lost from their killing. The streets are dying and the world needs a healing. I gotta move cause I got that feeling. There's about to be a shift in the game. Everybody's gotta yield to the name. The sun will shine, it will take away the rain. One day my God is gonna take away the pain. Some people in your circle will not get this. You gotta break away from all the misfits. There's too much rotten on this homie, don't risk it. Stop playing games and be about your business. I'ma be about my business. Hey, cause it's kingdom. Cause it's kingdom.
Hey yo, you already know what it is when the business pop off. You guess right, homie, yeah, it's Mr. Pop Off. I'm trapped with that top door that can't get knocked off. It's Canton, can we cameo on a hot song? Kingdom is life for us, so you get the same thing, homie, even if the camera's not on. The only time we front is shotgun. You get that? Get back, I near lose space when I drop songs. Ballin' about mine, do what I'm told. Fresh out the bread closet, I be after the soul. Before and after the album sold, but on the strip, I'm really more concerned about the path you chose. To choose life and the cash you roll, like the wheels on a Cadillac. Before the casket closed, thank God for that classic flow that attract traffic flow. The kingdom of God, let's go.
Gotta get on my grind. Keep it on my mind. And I can't waste time. Cause it's kingdom. Survival of the fittest. I can't play with it. I gotta go get it. Cause it's kingdom. I'ma handle my B, U, crooked letter I, N, E, crooked letter B, U, crooked letter I, N, E, crooked letter B, E, pause, A, P, O, U, T, pause, y'all, B, U, crooked letter I, N, E, crooked letter, yo, hey, play it again. Hit me.
Okay, DMCA. These guys still talking about bonsais?
Show up instead of me.
Shit, son.
And that would be too funny. Because
that dude cannot be contained.
He was only on he actually showed up to the show one time. I wish I had the episode. Remember when we did that episode? And that was
in studio, wasn't it?
Studio 3,
Yeah.
I think, at the Austin Public, and
yeah,
also Sebastian the Antifa,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-oh.
It was a good episode. Try to find that because
Yeah,
I'd
I'll
like to
look
see
it
that. Because we're starting early with our episode 200 best of stuff here, but if you can find it, yeah, we'll put that up.
Nice.
Okay, let's find out what the deal with these guys are, because there's a potential for them being chuds. Okay. Libertarian ideals, of course. about us. This program that started as a way for us to debunk crazy conspiracy theories. We interviewed kick-ass people, avid experts, and blah blah blah. However, over time we have perfected our area of focus, and that includes discussing news and politics from a center-right libertarian viewpoint. God, no. I mean, I took one look at this guy and he's a libertarian, isn't he?
I come here this afternoon to shed some light on the incident that occurred at the United States Capitol. At approximately 1.
Okay, enough of the Austin. Let's see. Where's Jeff? My name Jeff. Where my name Jeff? Jeff. 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 What did I do with Jeff? Oh, was it? Oh, let's see. Reopen, close tab. Oop, 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 oop. Okay. Oh, there it is. No, that's not Jeff. What did I do with Jeff? What did I do with Jeff? Let's get rid of some tabs here.
You mean? No, in the world.
Oh. Where is Jeff? How did I lose? Oh, here's Jeff.
Basically,
Night.
Once the congressional campaign ended,
But I'm gonna watch a little bit of Jeff, and I'll probably go to sleep too, because it's like midnight.
I wanted my own show. So that created the Jeff Davis Show. Started at public access TV. And basically by the time 1995, 1996, I was a TV star in Austin, Texas. I'd go out and be recognized, all the time. Then in 1995, I became a nationally syndicated radio host. Actually, internationally syndicated radio.
Ooh, he slipped up and said it was shortwave, and then he's like, "No, I gotta exaggerate it more." He was like, "I was a internationally syndicated radio host."
When we brought the Jeff Davis Show to Liberty Works Radio Network out of Westminster, Maryland. Now, I think the WLRN is just an internet stream these days, if it's even up at all.
Is it up? WLRN. Capital Report. Even Jazz with Tracy Fields. So it's my aunt. Probably WLRN Public Media. So. Okay, so it's Florida.
But when the Jeff Davis Show was on, from 1995 to about 2005, it was satellite, about a dozen, maybe 25 AM, FM radio stations across America. The satellite was beaming into internet live stream and international shortwave radio. So it was nice outreach for the Jeff Davis Show, worldwide outreach. So from 1995 to 2000, I was just doing radio and TV shows out the yin yang. either as a host or a guest. Basically, if
I want to know the lore about the Alex Jones documentary he was in.
I wasn't doing a live radio or TV show
That's
that day, I
99,
wasn't
so I think
happy.
we got a ways to go.
That's basically how it felt. I felt at that time. Now, my acting career actually began in 2000.
Oh,
very interesting story. Go down in the history books. I received an email from Rami Zal, who was the decades-long owner-operator of K Hall Agency, one of the premier talent agencies in Austin, Texas.
Oh no, is he not mentioning the Alex Jones thing? Did they have like a falling out or something? That might have been why they don't talk to each other anymore.
And basically, the email read that Rami Zal wanted me to sign with her as talent for K Hall Agency as an actor. Well, I thought about it for a little bit and basically ignored it. In 1999, I was offered a role in Richard Linklater's Dazed and Confused animated movie, and I turned that down. So the first K Hall Agency email I ignored, and I turned down Richard Linklater, both of which, I wish I would have done differently, but it is what it is. I ended up working with Richard Linklater in the feature film Bernie, so I worked with him. Now, so Rami Zal K Hall sends me this email inviting me to sign with her talent agency, and I ignored it. I was doing so many TV, radios. The reason probably why I didn't participate in Rami Zal or Linklater way back was because I was doing so much radio and television. Basically, I figured I had enough. I was in front of the cameras and microphones enough. Plus, I had absolutely no idea. I knew nothing about the entertainment industry. My time in studios in front of cameras was exposing the New World Order and crooked cops. I had done that for 10 years or 12 years before I'd even got involved in acting. So anyway, Rami Zal, I ignored her first one.
Is he not going to get into the Alex Jones thing?
Then a couple months it went on to, just bam, 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 bam. And before you know it, I was working with all these, what most people would call these big time celebrity actors. Tons of them. I don't even remember. Down to this. When I do an acting gig, it doesn't matter who I'm working with, what actors, what directors, who are the people who are around me, or what role I'm playing. When the Jeff Davis show, baby, walks onto a TV set, a radio station, or a film set, when the Jeff Davis show walks on set, baby, I'm it. I own that space. Period. So, and two of the reasons why I feel that way, how many of these they have in their bank accounts. Hold on a minute, folks. All right, takes care of that. Provides is the information required by the world masses to save themselves. Like little things like how they're being fleeced with shit like this. So, Google Jeff Davis Show, baby, while it's still available. You don't know in these world order times we live in. This whole thing could be shut down. The Dow's tumbling. Bankers are doing something behind the scenes, only they know. It's not trade or investor uneasiness, or it's manipulation of this shit and interest rates and all the other schemes they do. I've done local commercials here. So you got all these cameras on me while I'm eating these delicious salt lick barbecue burnt ends on my radio and television. And that was it, baby. I signed the paperwork. Yep, acting so far, so good. While it's still available, baby. Best news and information on planet Earth. The information the world masses need to save themselves. Period. So with that, baby, legendary Jeff Davis Show, 28 December 2018. Peace out, baby.
I love it. He thinks he's so successful, but he's got 97 views. So far, so good with acting. You're basically an extra. Okay, let's do a John Acapinti on my way out. Let's find a different one. Oh, he was on Tumblr? Yes, we'll save that. The picture he has on top. Jeff Davis Show on Twitter. Oh, he's still not banned on Twitter? The fucking picture. Oh, it's old school Jeff Davis. God of Abraham, Jesus. Jeff Davis Show doesn't wear wedding rings or cross necklaces. No. Why does he have such a shitty camera? Oh my god. Libertarian is accused of making ethnic slur. And two from... Oh, it's only half the story. Let's see. What is this? Jesus. Hashtag Jesus. Hashtag Jeff Davis Show. Well, you're a real tough cookie. Well, okay, it's Pat Benatar lyrics. National bankers and that Hitler understood this conspiracy. Okay, we kind of have an idea what he was doing. Statements like this are both ignorant and disgusting. Oh god. Oh, that's somebody quoting about what he said. Oh god, he's a fucking Nazi. Davis allegedly made the statements with a conversation with Bloom, an unidentified Austin lawyer, during a libertarian discussion session. Was it Robert Barnes? According to Bloom, Davis said it was too bad Hitler did not succeed in killing all Jews. Oh, Jesus. More than 6 million Jews and thousands of other ethnic minorities were killed by the Nazis under... Of course, we know that. In a telephone interview Friday, David said, I didn't say exactly what they're saying. I'm not a racist, and I do not have a racist bone in my body. Only racists say I don't have a racist bone in my body. But he added, in the course of the last 2.5 years, I have said a lot of stupid things on a lot of different issues. I am only human. Later Friday, Davis said, even if I might have said those things, I didn't advocate any of them. I may have mentioned to somebody that I heard this about Hitler, but I did not advocate it. Davis said the charges against him prove that the Libertarian Party is out to get him. I think you're too racist for the Libertarian Party. That's what's going on. I think the whole thing is a sham, and their real motive is pure jealousy. I have never been tied to a racist group or Nazi propaganda. I do refute the comments, and I think they are highly exaggerated. But Clark denied that the party has anything against Davis. When I first heard about this, I thought it was a bad joke, Clark said. This is the first time he said anything that was so far out of line. Davis acknowledged that the charges of anti-Semitism are likely to hurt his candidacy. It might be my political death, he said. Davis said it as he may sue Libertarian Party officials. I am considering suing, he said. I do think this is very much a personal attack. I think it's defrauding my character. A spokesman for the Texas Secretary of State's office confirmed that Davis has filed a letter stating his intents to run as an independent Libertarian candidate for Congress. No, they don't do dirty tricks on people that are not a threat to you. Like, what? The Libertarian Party is the only alternative party qualified to nominate candidates in Texas. Libertarians generally believe in less government, blah, 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 age of consent lowering and stuff. I think the whole thing is a sham, and it's jealousy. Okay. What is this video? We'll save it for later, but... what? Oh my god, so it's not a video about this at all? He thinks he looks good in this. He thinks this makes him look good. What? He's just dwelling on his run for Congress. Like, that was the best time of his life, and he can't stop thinking about it. Jeff Davis for president? Legendary animation, 20th December 2019. Okay. Let's do some John Aquamenti. I'm going higher. Let's find a really deranged one. I don't think I've listened to this one before. I think it might be a QAnon song. It's either QAnon or the actual Save the Children. Ooh.
Save the children. Don't turn a blind eye. Every 5 seconds, a child will die. Many are starving with nothing to eat. Sickening
Maybe it was the anti-Semitism thing.
on their feet.
Okay, so this is about actual Save the Children, I guess.
Let's have compassion for the children today. They need medicine and food. Please do not delay. Support them with money, with love and your prayers. Let the children know lives are snuffed out with no one to care. Suffering with hunger, don't turn them away. God have mercy, let us help them today. Let's have compassion. Let's have
Jesus, John, you don't have to show those pictures.
the children today. They need medicine and food. Please do not delay. Support them with money, with love and your prayers. Let the children know. Let the children know.
Like, John is such a boomer. He probably saw Save the Children trending from QAnon, and then he was like, "Oh, I love Save the Children, the organization," and he wrote this song. Ooh, let's see. Let me make one thing perfectly clear. Alex Jones learned from me, says the 38-year. He probably did, honestly. I think Davis has been at it since before Jones. Says a 38-year-old Davis who has been broadcasting since 1992. I don't watch his shows. I don't know what he's been saying. He's not the kind of person I would want to be associated with, even though he spent some time tapping into my brain. I'm glad he's out there. He provided energy and information, but he's not somebody I'd pick to be a friend. Oh yeah, you can kind of see that tension in Are You Practicing Communism at the beginning. Like, Jones is clearly like frustrated with Davis because he's too long-winded with his, like, he's reading like a John Birch pamphlet. He's like, Jones is just open, like, get to steps 9 and 10. What are planks 9 and 10 right now?
Somebody cares.
Let's do one more. We gotta do some pilled occupancy. Phil Enlow sings and speaks. Eat at the Waffle. He made so many Waffle House songs in this period of time. Mom joins Dad in heaven. Brother John recognizes the Mark Trammell singers. Now let's see.
Brother John recognizes the Mark Trammell singers. The Mark Trammell singers are praising Jesus, the King, with great harmony.
Oh god, we gotta hear these guys. I'm getting distracted, but oh, we can definitely see who influenced John here. He wants to sound like these guys. That's exactly what John's doing.
All the dead in Christ shall rise. I'll have a new body. Praise the Lord, I'll have a new life. Soul in weakness, raised in power.
Yeah. Yeah, like John, he's too much of a precious boomer to really screw with. He's too much of a pure man. He's probably never even seen, like, boobs before.
Live in paradise. I'll have a new body. Praise the Lord, I'll have a new life. I'll have a new home. I'll be.
These men can really sing. Jesus blesses their music as they praise his wonderful name. Their voices proclaim the love of Christ stays the same. The Mark Tremble singers are showing us the way. With each melody, they're blessing us today. It's inspiring to hear them as they honor Christ, the King. Mark Tremble singers remain faithful as they sing.
What about the John Turmel singers? Or, yeah, the John Turmel singers. Oh god, I better not waste the time and actually make a song like that. Just find like an instrumental of these guys and then put John Turmel just quotes over it. Who wants to work for Bots Box? Like, this is some sort of small pedophile cabal here. There's no way.
Mark Tremble singers have been anointed by the Lord. They blend their voice and we rejoice. They sing in one accord. Jesus gets the glory as Mark Tremble leads the way. Let's praise the Lord. Let's praise the Lord, lifting hands today. The Mark Tremble singers have been
Everyone, thank you for watching. Thank you. I love you.
Rejoice as they sing in one accord. Jesus gets the glory as Mark Tremble leads the way. Let's praise the Lord. Let's praise the Lord, lifting hands today. Lifting hands today.